Hi guys, sorry it's been a while again. You're used to that now, I think. Obviously though, if there was a video I was 100% going to be making without even thinking about whether or not I was going to be able to get round to it, it was obviously this review. Apologies if I am a hot sweaty mess. England is disgustingly hot right now, and unlike a lot of other hot countries, it just gets more and more humid. Like we don't have nice heat. There's no such thing as nice heat in England. It's either absolutely disgustingly sweatily, horribly hot, you can't sleep, you can't breathe, nothing, or raining and freezing cold. That's England. So I am horrible right now and we have no aircon because, again, it's not really an English thing. We don't really do aircon apart from in like hotels. So my house is a sauna. I am probably really shiny right now. My light is probably just reflecting all over the place. Sorry if you're blind. Yeah. So, I'm a bit of a mess. And my makeup's probably running because all I've done all day is wipe mascara from under my eyes because it's just sweating off. Yes, I'm sorry, right? It's the truth. I'm a clean person and it's just impossible to keep up with it right now. Anyways, I'm having a rant about how hot it is. Can you tell I hate the heat? Vicky, what are we talking about today? We're talking about one of the most important releases of the year, of course, and that is Epica's Attack on Titan EP, which obviously I went out and actually bought the CD version. I don't like downloading things, so I have a physical copy. So with the CD, it's in this like card casing thing that seems to be popular now, especially with Epica CDs. And you get a lovely picture of the band. Oh, there's also a picture of the band with the track listing on the back too. I should have probably told you that. And then you get the disc, which looks like this, which I think is very pretty. And you also get the booklet that has the same picture of the band on the back, and then has like lyric sheets in it. This cost me £8.99. So, I'll go into it before I actually talk about this album because I feel like every time I order an album I have to tell you a story of what went wrong when I ordered the album. So I pre-ordered this, I say album, EP. I pre-ordered this, of course I did. Hi, I'm Vicky, I love Epica. From HMV, because last time I ordered the Solace system, I pre-ordered that from HMV, and whilst it didn't come exactly on release date, it was the best look I'd ever had with a pre-order, and I think this is now the final nail in the coffin. I'm going to stop pre-ordering things, and I'm just going to have to go in and buy them and hope for the best and hope that they're a reasonable price in store. Luckily, this was the same price in store as it was online. So what went wrong with your pre-order this time, Vicky? I ordered this. I also ordered, oh I can't reach, it's too high up right now, but I ordered a Funko Pop of the Evil Queen from Snow White, and I ordered a present for Phil for his birthday, all in the same bundle. So I get the two other items. Obviously this hasn't come out yet, but the time I've ordered it is still a couple of weeks to go. So I get a package with the rest of the items a few days later. I'm like, oh that's great, going well. Anyways, it gets to like a couple of days before the album's coming out, and I get a email from HMV saying they've not been able to take my payment and they'll try again. And I'm like, well, there's obviously more than enough funds in my account, so I'm sure it'll work the next time. And I didn't think anything of it, and I just went and lived my life. Anyways, it gets to the day before and I get told, you're not getting your pre-order because we can't take payment from your card. Now, this is incredibly suspicious since you've already delivered the rest of my order to me, and it turns out you charged me at the time I ordered it for just those items. You didn't charge for the whole order, and they've come fine, and you didn't think my card was fraudulent then. But when I question why this hasn't come, you basically tell me my card is fraudulent. Yes, that's right. I emailed HMV like, what has happened with my pre-order? What went wrong? Can you just explain so that I can go and buy another copy if it's definitely not coming, blah blah blah. And they hinted that my card was fraudulent. So it wasn't fraudulent enough for you to be worried when I was buying myself a figure and Phil a present, but now that you want to give me the thing I actually really wanted, the whole reason I was on your website, it's fraudulent. So I'm currently in an email dispute with HMV, and I'm somewhat upset because I'm sick of pre-ordering Epica anything. Actually it happened with Nightwish as well. Symphysis I think is the only bloody thing that I've pre-ordered that's actually gone right. Anyways, yes, I'm sick of pre-ordering and it going wrong and me being like the one to blame, or it being something completely out of anyone's control, so it's like, well, I'm literally screwed and I can't have the album and I'm going to do my review late. So that's what happened, and I went straight into the store the day of release and I bought this album with the same fraudulent card which I think says it all, in the store for luckily the same price as it was online, because I was going to be livid if it was more money in the shop. So, rant over. Let's talk about the actual album. Oh, I'm really sorry, my eyes really like watering. I'm going to have mascara all over my face without even the hot weather, it seems. Anyways, so I've forgotten where I was going now, too busy ranting. I watched all of the like documentary, not really a documentary, like the interview with Isaac and Coon about the making of the album. Like they did a few little like 2-minute clips talking about making this album, and it seems like they had a really interesting time doing it, and some of the stuff that they talk about I get when I'm listening to the album, and oh, I'm really sorry. Oh, this is really throwing me off. Anyways, yeah, so I'm going to talk about my feelings listening to it. I do think that the songs on this album, there are 4 new songs and then 4 instrumental versions of those new songs. Now, for £8.99, whilst it's Epica and I'll buy pretty much anything they release because I'm a sucker for that crap, I am a little bit like, is that all? The Solar System had 6 new songs and was about the same price, even though it didn't have any of the instrumentals, but I'm not bothered about instrumentals. Like, I've said this multiple times, I don't care about instrumentals. If you put an intro track on your album, I'll probably listen to it the first time I ever listen to your album and then never again. And then if you use it as your intro when I see you live. That's about it, because I just don't really care for instrumental. It's not for me. Sorry. So that's already half this album that I'll probably not really listen to much after the first day, where I absolutely binged this album and listened to it like 20 times. I keep calling it an album, that's probably going to keep happening. I know it's an EP, don't worry. Anyways, so that was already a little bit of a disappointment. Oh, I really think this heat is genuinely melting my makeup. Oh, I'm really sorry guys. Right, anyways, this is going to be a disastrous video. Hi, welcome to my channel. So yeah, anyways, so yeah, I'm listening to this album and I do feel like all of the songs definitely have that same feeling. You can tell they're from the same world, and they do definitely have an anime vibe to them. I have never watched Attack on Titan. I've seen odd clips and references and pictures here and there of it, so I know what it looks like, and I know like that, you know, there's the big huge, I'm assuming are the Titans that the humans have to fight. That's as much as I know. I'm really sorry, I'm really uneducated on this show. But I do watch anime, and you can tell there is definite anime vibes in there, like anime soundtracks. The sounds and the certain noises and elements that are just, this is anime, this is very like Japanese sounding, and I appreciated that. I really liked it because, as I said, I do like to watch anime, just I haven't watched this particular show that Epica are referencing, so I guess I'm lost a little bit on there. If you watch the show and you have like any certain vibes and opinions that you want to tell me about that I might not know or not get, like there might be references that I don't understand because I haven't watched it or whatever, you can tell me all about it in the comments and we'll have a lovely little chat, because I'm more than happy to learn more about these songs. That's great. But for me, I just took it as a general anime sound and feel, because I couldn't 100% reference the show because I don't watch it, sorry. So yeah, that was like my initial feeling listening to this album, was this is certainly inspired by anime. There's no question about it. In the song, if inside these walls were a house, inside of these walls was a house, the like ending bit has like a note that plays again and again in the background, and it is such an anime, this is an emotional moment sound. Like in shows it'll happen when a character's having like a big speech or something. I was like, yeah, this is really anime. I get it, I understand. And that was just one of those little gems that really spoke to me when it comes to having watched Japanese shows, and then having to listen to this listening to this Japanese inspired music. So my general thoughts are that this is definitely like an Epica sounding album, but the what they're referencing is not taken away by that at all. Like this is definitely an Epica album, and it's definitely like an anime album. Again, I don't know how much Attack on Titan it is, but sorry. So the actual individual songs, I ranked them because there's 4, so it's nice and easy to rank. So from like least favourite, because I was going to say worst, but like I don't dislike any of the songs. From least favourite to favourite, I would say it's If Inside These Walls Was a House. That is a complicated name. This is like Fall Out Boy level of naming. That is my 4th ranking. Then I gave it to Wings of Freedom, and then I gave it to Dedicate Your Heart, and then Crimson Bow and Arrow is by far the best song on this album. Like, that is the song they sold this around, and I understand why, because it is so insanely catchy. I'll be walking around my house and it'll just pop straight back into my head. And the fact that they referenced it in the next track, Wings of Freedom, great, because then that made that be more catchy and in my head too. And I like the fact again it linked the songs, so they were all part of this same like story. So that was a nice little like gem. But yeah, like that, the main song Crimson Bow and Arrow is definitely like an Epica staple. I can see them playing that live so many times, and I will happily be in the audience screaming away to it, as I always am. You know me. I'm just trying to look at my notes to make sure that I reference everything. Yes, so the Dedicate Your Heart track has insanely busy lyrics, and I understand that this is probably the song that they have taken the most of a translation and worked with, because I was trying to look into it. Obviously I just did a bit of basic research, and that seems to be the song that is definitely actually a fully fledged song in the Attack on Titan universe. So you can tell that they're working with this Japanese translation that is ridiculously long and trying to make it fit into a song and still in the same tune. But it didn't like, it was still my 2nd favourite song on the album because they did it really well, but sometimes you can just hear Simone like going and going and going and going and going. It's like, when can she actually catch her breath? And it was actually referenced by Isaac and Cohen in the interview they did. They were like, sometimes there's just no room for breath because of the lyrics, and that we had to work with these translations that were literally like basic English translations of Japanese. So you can tell a little bit, but I don't think it hindered it anything. It's just more like, again, it's kind of like that little nod and reference that this is based on anime, because it happens all the time in shows where characters will have to keep talking and talking and talking because they're Japanese like mouths are still going with however it's said in Japanese to what compared to how it is in English, or they have to like keep talking when the character's off screen so that they're still continuing to make it make sense. Like, these problems happen with translations, and I enjoyed it as a weird little reference. Then the instrumentals, I will mention them because they're there. They again are the same songs that I like and enjoy, and so I like and enjoy them as the instrumental self. I love the fact that they still have choirs in them, even though they're instrumental versions, but the choirs apparently count as instruments now. So those vocals are still there. There is a few backing vocals still in the songs, which is fun and enjoyable, and to me it kind of helps me keep along with where the song is. Not that I can't instrumentally, but like, I'm very much a lyrics and vocals kind of listener. That's just how my brain works. I think that's why I like symphonic metal so much, because it's very lyrical and it's very like impressive vocals. Anyways, so yeah, then there's that. And then yeah, I think that might be all my points. Other than, I do feel like this is the kind of album where Mark could have been used a little bit more sparingly, just because his voice to me doesn't really speak that anime tone as much. Like, Simone seems to get it a bit more than Mark does, and I don't mean that as a knock on Mark. I just think his like grunts and growls aren't really very, like, especially not for the anime I've watched anyways, it's not really a thing. It's not really in the soundtracks, and the kind of songs that are written in them, they're not really for that kind of vocal. but it's not a diss. It's not like a diss on him, and I still love him, and it made it feel more Epica, so that's obviously a bonus on him. So yeah, my general thoughts are I like this and I enjoy this. I wish there was more, but then again there might not be much more in the Attack on Titan soundtrack world for Epica to go on. I don't know, I'm really sorry. If you're a fan and you think they should have done a version of this, let me know when I'll listen to the original song, and see if I think that it could have had an Epica twist, because like I say, I don't mind you educating me on Attack on Titan because I haven't watched it, I don't know. But yeah, all in all, obviously I give this a good review, a positive review. I like the sound. I will listen to these tracks from now until forever on. They've been added on to my MP3 player, which is like the thing that I use to travel around with day to day, so I will listen to these songs always. And I'm really glad that I have this lovely edition because I like to have a nice physical copy. And I hope that Epica do start working on more full-length albums, just because these kind of like EPs leave me wanting more. It's not, obviously that's not a bad thing, I want more from them, but I just wish that I could get more like a kind of full album, so hopefully that'll be soon. And yeah, I don't really know how to rate this album. Maybe like, I usually give out a 5 out of 5 for everything Epica because I'm biased, but I think I'm going to give this a 4 just because it's so short and I wanted more from it, and I don't know, it's just not, obviously it's not 100% Epica, and whilst that's not a bad thing, like I'm not going to stop listening to them or anything, this isn't like the holy grail for me. Like I'd rather listen to the Solace System than this, but it's not because I dislike this, it's just I prefer Epica's full vibe, like their full sound is obviously what I'm here for. So yeah, I'm going to say 4 out of 5 for this one. Thank you so much for watching this absolute mess of a video. I love you all so much, and I will see you whenever I can. Bye!